Hi everyone, Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, down here tonight with Dad, and you're watching me on Bowdabra. So we have a bunch of bows to be making, and we're also going to be creating a mini wreath, and you guys know by now we make tons and tons of wreaths. One of my favorite ones to create are actually smaller wreaths, because I think they look better on the interior of your home, whether it be on a wall, on a door, cabinet, you name it. Just a little bit more to scale and a little bit more size appropriate. So as you come in, be sure to say hi to Dad, and we're going to be dealing with our large Bowdabra here. We have our mini Bowdabra that we're going to be doing, at least one demo on tonight. And we also have our 100-yard spool of wire. So this wire comes in two different colors. It comes in this beautiful gold, and it also comes in silver. So feel free to choose whichever of those colors you like. And we're also going to be dealing with all of these ribbons tonight. So we have this beautiful watermelon one, or at least that's what it reminds me of. It's a lime green and this kind of hot pink fuchsia colored stripe. So we're going to put this to use tonight, and I think this is the perfect bow for any, summery designs. So, yeah, welcome, Nancy. Nice to see you. We also have this beautiful fuchsia one, which we're going to do a combo bow. Look at how perfect those two match together. What do you think of those, Dad?
I like it.
So we also have this. This is a plaid, but more of a natural plaid. As you can see, it's not super bright. And, if you've been watching us for a while, you guys know I prefer my colors to be a little bit more muted, a little bit more subdued. So we're going to be dealing with that. Let's just pull up the video, make sure we're live. Of course, we're going to have to deal with the blue. So this is a beautiful kind of like ocean blue. So we're going to put this to use. We're going to be doing a blend of 1.5 inch. Also, we're going to work in a few 2.5 inch ribbons as well. So, also, as you come in, don't forget that Bowdabra does give away a free roll of scrunchy ribbon each and every time they're live. Hi, Sylvia. Nice to see you. So, the first thing we're going to do is actually create our piece of wire. So, we're going to start with our large Bowdabra. It does come with a wand. I don't get a whole lot of use out of this wand, you guys. I use it very rarely, if ever. If you're doing a lot of loops, this does become handy because you can just slip it right in, and it compresses all of your loops. So let's work in a piece of wire. So for the wire, this is a question we get asked, probably one of the, the most questions we get asked, is what do we do with the wire? So I just like to cut it longer than I anticipate needing. So here we have about 14 inches on either side, making it about a 28-inch piece of wire. I just folded it in half, and when you fold it in half, you're going to have, Bonnie wants to win today, you're going to have a cut end, and you're also going to have a closed loop. So we're just going to place that, doesn't matter which way it's facing, right into the slit in the middle of our Bowdabra.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, you guys, and tuck it underneath. Hey, Jeannie. Hey, Lynn. Hi, Layla. What a beautiful name that is. So let's start with our summary ribbon. So we have this fuchsia that we're going to work in first. And for this bow, let's start with a funky, and maybe we'll do 2 or 3 different types using these 2 ribbons. One of my favorite things to do is actually create different bows for you guys using the same prints. That way it kind of, gets you thinking outside the box and how you can kind of apply the same ribbon to different techniques and what, a totally different way, it turns out. So we're going to cut our tail. So right here we have 1 loop with 2 tails. It kind of looks like an awareness ribbon to me. Hey, Julie. And we're going to just place that right inside. So also, don't forget, you guys, you can be ordering all of these products through our affiliate link in the comment section. So down below, Bowdabra does have the links pinned where you guys can purchase the ribbons that that they offer. You can be purchasing the wire, the Bowdabras, both the mini and the large, as well as kits that they put together with all of those as well. Now we're going to come back in and do the same process with this beautiful watermelon stripe. Isn't that cool?
I love it.
What do you guys think of that ribbon?
That's a really cool ribbon.
Right? So Rebecca wants to win. We're going to cut 2 more tails off of this one. And I never measure you guys, but if I had to give you an estimate, the loops are about 3.5 inches, 4 inches, with tails about 6 to 8. So this is usually our go-to size for creating bows. So we'll come back in with our fuchsia now.
Hi, Joe. Eleanor wants to win the gold.
Hi, Joe and Eleanor. Gold. We're actually going to be designing with gold later this evening. I'd still personally say silver here. I'm a huge silver guy. But, gold works for a lot of different holidays and seasons too, believe it or not. The other color choice is what, Dad?
Silver and red.
Silver and red, yes.
Rhonda loves her Bowdabra.
Awesome, Rhonda. Hey, Glenna. Coming back in with this beautiful 1.5 inch watermelon.
Hi, Perrette. She says hi, Nick and Dad.
Hi, nice to see you. All right, so how was everybody's weekend? What'd you end up doing? The weather was beautiful here. I say beautiful, but it's still too hot for me. You know, we're here in Massachusetts, so let us know where you guys are from. But here in Massachusetts, the weather has been brutal lately. The house has been incredibly hot. So hopefully we get some cooler days in the near future because it's getting unbearable. It's very hot. So here's our, what? Is this our second piece? This is our third piece. We have one more of that watermelon, and then we can switch over to securing our wire and then dovetailing and fluffing this bow out. So only 3 loops of each. So for those of you that have tons of extra ribbons, and if you let me know if you have a lot of scrap ribbons, whether it be a yard or 2 on a roll left over, because these are the perfect bows. These are funky bows, and they're the perfect bows to be using up leftovers or scraps, because you don't need much product. You know, a yard or 2 max, you can create a bow like this of each color. And you can do more than 2 colors. So I often like to keep my bows simplified. You know, there's tons of designers out there that love to use 5, 6, 7 different prints. I'm not one of those designers, but if you wanted to, you know, place a third ribbon in, like a straight up lime green ribbon, that would look pretty. You can add as many ribbons as you want. It's totally up to you. Hey Rose, nice to see you. So glad to find you. I've been using a Bowdabra, so glad to find new methods. Awesome. So what I did is I took it out, I'm pulling it tight, and I'm just going to take my entire bow, flip it off, flip it over, flip it over, and tie from behind. I'm trying to multitask right here, you guys. Been crafting with my Bowdabra on my day off. Awesome.
Joe has tons of scraps.
You do, Joe? Yeah, me too. We have tons of rolls of ribbons that have maybe a yard or 2. So like I said, this is the perfect bow for that because you don't need much ribbon at all. Dovetail. So to dovetail, you're going to just take those tails, fold them in half, and cut from the middle out towards the wired edge. So Layla says it is around 75 degrees in northwest Iowa with low humidity. So that sounds heavenly.
I'll take that, yeah.
That is not the weather we're having. It's about probably, it was 88 an hour or so ago when I was out. And then the humidity is probably up there too. So we don't have, you know, Florida humidity, and we don't have Arizona's dry heat or Nevada's dry heat, but, you know, we're somewhere in between, which doesn't mean it's comfortable. So dovetailing the other side. So this really adds a professional touch to all of your bows, you guys. So if you've never dovetailed, what are you waiting for? It really makes a huge difference. You don't have to be working in fancy products. Of course, if you do, it makes it a little bit easier. But if you're just using simple, inexpensive ribbon, you still can make it look beautiful by dovetailing.
Thank you, Rose. Yes, I did have a wonderful Father's Day. Always nice to hang out with the kids.
I posted the cutest little picture of Dad in case you guys didn't see it yesterday. It was a picture of us at my graduation. And I use that photo all the time, Dad. It's probably one of the only good ones we've taken. So just fluffing it out. Again, only 3 loops of each on this bow. So also, as you guys come in, if you don't mind hitting that like and share button, I greatly appreciate it. And also let us know if these videos are helpful to you. You know, when you like and share, that's awesome. You know, when you purchase things, that's awesome. But the biggest motivation and the biggest, you know, tip you can give us is just by letting us know that you enjoy them. It's such a motivational boost when you do that. So here we have the funky bow. And what we always do when we, you know, take pictures is we make sure to fluff them out even better. I like to create as many bows as possible, which is why we don't spend too much time on each individual bow. But we always take pictures of them against just a white wall so you guys get the full impact of how they turn out. So there's bow number 1. What do you think of that?
It's cool.
Cool, right?
I like the colors.
So let's create another bow using the same ribbon. So we're going to cut another length of our wire. And Bowdabra has shared the link as to what you possibly could win tonight. So if you're new here to watching us on Bowdabra, every Monday Bowdabra does give away a free roll of ribbon. And we are live on Bowdabra every Monday at 7 Eastern. And we've had a lot of lucky winners that have never won anything in their life. So, you know, who doesn't want to win free ribbon?
Nick was just using the large Bowdabra for that one.
Yes, this is the large, and this is my go-to. The mini Bowdabra is great for smaller bows, hair bows and whatnot. I don't do a whole lot of, I don't think I've ever done a hair bow, and I don't, you know, see myself doing those. But if you do, you know, the mini Bowdabra works great for that. And the owner of Bowdabra, Sandy, does great tutorials on Bowdabra. So make sure to, you know, check them out and make sure to join their fan gallery. They do have a Bowdabra fan gallery. So I just cut some tails. These tails are about 20 inches long on either side. And now we're going to just take that end of ribbon, place it into the Bowdabra, and start creating our loops.
Bob would like to know how the Bowdabra is with unwired ribbon, Nick.
So Bob, anything with unwired ribbon is difficult. So I very rarely use, non-wired ribbon. I'd say the only exception with designing is going to be our fresh designs. So, I am a florist, and when I do fresh designs, which isn't a whole lot, Artificial World keeps me very busy. But I do like the look of non-wired with that. And we've done tutorials using non-wired ribbon here on Bowdabra. I think we did one last week or the week before. So we're adding 3 loops to each. So we've done 2. And I like to twist and rotate my Bowdabra instead of rotate my hands. And you're going to have to find what way works easiest for you. So sometimes, you'll see designers out there that, twist their ribbon and then bring it back like so. I find that to be a little bit more challenging for me, so I like to just rotate my Bowdabra as I work it in my product. So there is our 3rd and final loop of this ribbon. And this bow is going to be slightly different. It's going to be a little bit more fun, I think. So place it in, coming back in with our watermelon ribbon. But getting back to it, yeah, the Bowdabra does work great with non-wired ribbon. I just don't use non-wired ribbon a whole lot. And I know you guys don't as well, so, we do save, these tutorials for using wired ribbon, but we've done, several at least with non-wired here. So coming back in with just 2 loops of this. These loops are going to be about 3 inches wide or so. Doesn't have to be exact, you guys. I very rarely make them exact, and that just stresses me out having to sit there and measure everything out and make sure it's super duper even. So about 4-inch loops, about 3-inch loops, 3 of the Fuchsia, 2 of the watermelon. Now we're going to come back in with what I like to call the button loop. So here's what you can do if you don't want to rotate your Bowdabra. But since I like to rotate, I just take it and give it half a turn. Create a smaller loop, only has to be about 1.5 inches or so. And then place it inside. And now what we can do is we can just take that wire. So again, we have the cut end on one side, and then we have the loop on the other. Pull it together and tie from the middle. As easy as that. Then we're going to take those wires. I give it one quick little tug, doesn't have to be anything super crazy, and then just flip my bow over. Lavelle would like to win. Fran says, my Bowdabra has unleashed my bow-making creativity. Hands up for Fran, you guys.
I was just going to read that. That's cool, yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
It is awesome.
And, I do want to apologize in advance if you do purchase your Bowdabra and you do, start making bows. And if I've inspired you to do that, like I said, I want to apologize in advance because it does become addicting really quickly. So if you haven't made a bow yet, don't make a bow, you guys. Don't do it, because you won't stop, and you'll be making bows for everybody, every holiday, every season, every present, and you just won't stop. So that's my warning, my word of advice. But now we're just going to fluff this out, separate those loops, get everything kind of stretched out like so. And as I've always said, the bows always look best in their final location when you finally, give them one good solid fluff. So we created a funky bow using these 2 ribbons. Now we have what I think is a 3-2-1 bow.
That's so cool.
What do you guys think of that? What do I think of that? So a little bit more fluffing. But I think that looks good. What do you think? Fran says, you were such an inspiration. Thank you, Fran. Ribbon is addictive. Exactly. So there's that bow. We're going to create some more now. How are we doing on time? We're doing great. So for the next one, let's actually make our wreath. So I'm actually going to break into our final roll of burlap ribbon. We have a couple partial rolls, but it's not perfectly straight like this. It's a little bit wrinkly. So this roll of ribbon, as you can see, is quite an old roll. This one we probably picked up about 4 years ago or so, Dad. So this is our final roll. And if you follow me on Nick's Seasonal Decor, you guys know how much I love my burlap ribbon. So it's kind of bittersweet, but we're doing it here on Bowdabra. So shows how special you guys are. We're breaking into our final roll.
Crystal says watching you is addictive, Nick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Crystal. So we're going to cut 2 tails. Random lengths, don't put any thought into it. The longer, the better in my eyes. It just really creates, length to your design. So if we cut these tails a lot smaller, it just wouldn't have that same effect. So I like my tails to be relatively long. I mean, these are about, 22 inches on either side or so, and it's going on a 14-inch grapevine. So we'll just take that, place that to the side. Now we're going to need to come back in with another length of our wire. So cut you know, something a little bit longer than you anticipate on using, don't forget we got to make sure that this wire goes over the grapevine and we're still able to tie it on the grapevine. Just place it either way in the Bowdabra.
Sharon would love to win.
Awesome, Sharon. And I just tuck my wires underneath, like so. Sharon would love to win. I see that now. Awesome. Yeah, let us know, you guys. We're going to be choosing, or Bowdabra's going to be choosing a winner in the next, gosh, I'd say, what, less than 10 minutes, Dad?
Yep.
So we're going to create some loops again. Like I said, awareness ribbon. This is going to be a funky bow, but it's going to be a little bit different because we're adding longer tails to it. So I really like adding longer tails to pretty much any bows I make. Rebecca wants to win. Yes, let us know. Create another piece. Don't be sorry, you make everything look so simple to do. It is simple to do, Crystal. You know, my thing that I've been saying for years, and I'm comfortable being able to say this by now, because we all start out pretty much the same when we start, you know, designing, making bows. My biggest tip, and I say it constantly to you guys, I sound like a broken record and you're probably sick of hearing it, but it's to not overthink it. Worst case scenario, the absolute worst case scenario that will happen is you don't like it. That's literally the worst thing that can happen. When you bite the bullet and go for it and try something different out, or mix it up, use different ribbons or whatever the case may be, you know, you can really kind of impress yourself and create something stunning. So, you know, if you don't like it, you can always, you know, add things to it, hide it with flowers, whatever the case may be, deconstruct it, throw out the ribbon. If I was to throw out one of these bows, I mean, how much is it going to cost us, you guys, you know? Depending on the price of the ribbon, but if you're using just cheap ribbon, you know, scrapping a bow or two is not going to really set you back a whole lot. And then just give it another shot. So that's probably the biggest thing that I, you know, advocate for, because there's really no mess ups. You can always fix something.
Rebecca says she loves her Bowdabra and uses your technique and it works for her.
Awesome, Rebecca. And you know, that's what it comes down to. You're going to have to find what technique works best for you. And we're all so different that it, you know, it just depends. So like I said, Bowdabra has a bunch of different, you know, guests do lives. You know, Sandy does lives, and we all teach differently, and we all have kind of our different ways of doing things. So I forgot to attach our tails in the beginning. No worries, I'll just place them right on top like so. So now what we can do is just take our wires. Again, doesn't matter. Here we have the the open end that's cut. We have the loop on this side. Now we have the loop on this side and the open end on the other. So it really doesn't make a difference whatsoever what you do. But just pull it towards the middle and tie it off by taking your wires and bringing them to the back. So again, if you guys don't mind hitting that like and share button, we greatly appreciate it. We are here on Bowdabra each and every Monday at 7 Eastern, and it's something that, you know, we commit to. So if you guys follow me on my business page, you know that I'm full of broken promises, and I truly try not to be, but you know, life happens, things happen, you know, sometimes you're a little bit late, sometimes you're a little bit early. Bowdabra, 7 p.m. Eastern, we are here. This is always in our mind, and we, you know, haven't missed it. We did, you know, switch up the date a couple weeks ago. That was the only time in 2 years. So we're going to just take our bow now and dovetail, fold those tails in half, cut from the middle out towards the wired edge at an angle. And this process can go by really quickly. So if you just, you know, do it at the end, it goes by quick. We're about halfway done with this bow. I don't want to miss any tails though, because Dad always yells at me when I do that. So I don't want to be yelled at today.
I still love that ribbon, don't you, Nick?
What, this burlap?
Yeah, I love it.
Why would you ask me a question like
I know.
that? What do you think? Do you think I still love this ribbon?
I love that ribbon.
I do, and my heart's broken that we've broken to our final roll. But it's going to be worth it, so that's okay. All right, I think that's all of them, but I don't want to miss any because Dad, like I said, won't be too happy. Well, so with those longer tails, often we get, you know, comments, and I go back and read them, and it's people saying, you forgot to dovetail the longer ones. So if I just cut them across, that's okay, because a lot of the times we curl them up, don't we, Dad?
Yeah.
We take them and curl them up. We just cut these at an angle because I think these are just going to be free-flowing tails in this case. Now we can just clean up our little mess. Thank you guys for the shares. Hey, Tony, nice to see you. Now we can come back to our 14-inch grapevine. And I said this earlier, you guys, this is one of my favorite sizes. You know, it's a toss-up between this and the 18-inch. It really depends on my mood. And a certain day, I guess, because, you know, both work great, and they both have two completely different purposes. This one's perfect for a smaller wreath, something that doesn't have to be as stately, which if you're going to place this on a wall, Dad, when you walk into a room, you know, as much as I love my designs and as much as I want people to see them in my own home, and for others' homes. I don't want this to be the first thing you notice when you walk into every room. I want it to blend in with the decor. So this wreath can be placed, you know, in between picture frames and whatnot on your wall, and really just create a beautiful, you know, showpiece without taking too much attention from the other decorations and pictures. Pull those tails down. We got, look away there.
I didn't see anything.
Pull that long tail down this way, and we placed our long tails in the middle. So it really goes to show that it's not going to make a huge difference the way you have them. Fluff everything out. We have some pretty flowers and a little bit of greenery we're going to work in tonight. If there's anything sticking out too far, you can always trim them up just by refolding in half and cutting from the middle towards the outside. Like so. So let us know, you guys, what's your favorite size ribbon to work with? Are you more of a 2.5-inch person? Are you more of a 1.5-inch person? And also let me know what you guys think I am. You know, most of you should know by now, if you follow me on Bowdabra or my page, you should kind of know by now what I prefer. But that's what the bow looks like with nothing else on it. Just a grapevine and a simple bow. But we're not done yet. We have more things to add. All right, so the first thing we're going to work in is actually a little bit of greenery. So here we have this bush right here. So yes, Bowdabra does have a blog full of tutorials that you guys can check out. So as I said before, if my tutorials don't work for you, that's fine, you guys. No hard feelings. We all learn differently. So there's tons of designers out there, including Sandy, who can teach you how to make bows in Bowdabra. You know, you just have to find out what works best for you.
Mary likes 1.5.
Mary likes 1.5. Fran likes 2. 2-inch ribbon, which we don't deal with a whole lot of 2-inch
No, you don't know.
So Fran, send us some pictures. I would love to see what you create.
I like the 2.5, I think.
You like the 2.5
Yeah.
inch? Yeah, I don't know. I've always been a 1.5-inch fan. Actually, I take that back. I switch off. You know, it just depends on the year. Honestly, it depends on the year. Sometimes I feel like it, sometimes I don't. You know, obviously there's trends within every industry, but then there's also trends within yourself too. You know, we all kind of have our own little personal trends that we follow and kind of, you know, love for a certain time and then hate for a certain time.
You just reminded me of Mounds, Nick, when you said that.
What?
Sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. I couldn't resist.
Barbara says,
sorry, guys.
Let's place this piece here.
Hey, we have to have some fun, guys,
Yeah, you
right?
have to, right? All right, fluff that bow out. Now we can switch over to some flowers. And we have these. You know what kind of flowers these are, Dad? Take a wild guess. Let's see if you can get it.
They're not Gerbers.
No, not Gerbras. Not even close to Gerbras.
They're pretty, though.
Aren't they
They're
pretty?
bright, yeah.
One guess. Just take one random guess. See if you can get it.
One guess.
Let's see. Can you guys guess what these are?
Wow. I feel bad now that I don't know.
It starts with a P.
Peony.
No, those are big flowers.
I know those are big.
Poppies.
Oh, poppy?
Yeah. I mean, you don't really see them too much looking like this, but they do have orange poppies, of course. You know, the thing about flowers, Dad, so I'm not even going to put you on the spot like that because that would happen to me, too, in certain flowers. The thing about companies that make flowers is that they can really set the name to anything. So they might have an inspiration, and it might look totally different than the real thing, and they might still call it whatever that real thing is. So, you know, with flowers, it's a hit or miss. You might be 100%, you know, knowledgeable when it comes to garden flowers, but when it comes to these artificial beauties, sometimes the companies kind of trick you a little bit. So
Tony, Sarah, Fran, they got it all right.
see?
Vicky said she was thinking the same thing about the chocolate. I think Pirette says she wants chocolate now.
Chocolate. Oh, I want chocolate.
Chocolate doesn't last long in this house,
No,
guys.
it doesn't. Dad likes dark chocolate, though.
I love
Me,
dark chocolate.
I like milk chocolate. Well, I like milk chocolate with almonds. That's my favorite.
I like the coconut clusters.
Yeah, you like those too. See, my friends, they hate almond chocolates. They'd rather just have a regular chocolate bar. Not me.
Joe says, LOL, I was thinking of Almond Joy as well. Great minds think alike, everyone.
All right, let's break down the rest of these. I'm not going to save one flower, so we'll just cut that one off as well. And continue working them in. Poppy says, Joe. Tony says, love it. LOL, Dad, he always puts you on the spot. You need to study up. Right, Sharon? That's why I put him on the spot. He's got to learn some of the names. Even though this one was a little tricky. I'll give you that, Dad, at least. I'll give you that.
Well, I like them anyway.
Yeah, they are pretty.
They're very pretty.
So we're just working in a couple more. See the different shades between just the flowers? This one's a little bit more of an orange right here.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are a little bit kind of duller.
I like that, though.
You know, it just adds visual interest purchasing flowers in different shades like that. So,
winner soon. Who wants to win?
Yes, we got 6 minutes, you guys. Probably enough time for 1 or 2 more bows. And that's the wreath.
That's awesome, Nick.
Right? Tell me that doesn't look great. You know, something simple. We used 1 bush of flowers, 1 bush of greenery? I think 1 bush of greenery, and a little bit of 1.5-inch ribbon, all on a 14-inch grapevine. So things don't have to be crazy complicated. Sometimes the simpler the better. So that's how this one turned out. Give some hearts if you guys like that. I love my burlap, so that's all I can say. But now let's create another bow. We're going to take another length of wire.
Why don't you use the little Bowdabra and make one?
Yeah, let's use a little. We have enough time for 2 more, so probably 1 large and 1 mini. So we'll save the mini for last.
Save the mini for last.
All right, so we're going to work in this blue ribbon right here. Isn't that pretty?
It is pretty. Nice blue. What would you call that blue, Nick?
I don't know. Like, it's kind of like an icy blue, sort of. I don't know. Teal? Aqua? Aqua, maybe. I don't know. What kind of blue would you guys say this is? It's not a baby blue. It's a little bit vibrant for that. So for this bow, let's do this. No tails at all. Place it inside. Create about a 4-inch loop or so. I like to rotate my Bowdabra, like I said.
Vicky says I feel like a nut a lot.
Right, Vicky? Join the club. All right, just repeating this process. So this is going to be a perfect present bow that you can just hot glue or tape right to the top of a box or a present. What we can also do, Dad, is we can work in some longer tails in this, and what we end up with is a traditional bow. So, you know, just tweaking things slightly gives you a completely different visual, completely different technique, completely different process, and it still looks, you know, unique. So adding a different ribbon or adding some tails, even 3 tails, just makes it that much more different.
Yeah, I think Perrette's right. She said teal. Yeah, it does look like a teal.
Kind of a teal. It's pretty, though. Whatever the
Aqua.
blue is, it's pretty.
Very pretty, yeah.
Perfect for summer. Or baby shower, bridal showers, baby showers. Working a couple more. Just to make this as full as possible. So we did 4 on this side, 5 on this side. Let's finish it off with 1 more. How's that sound? 1 more. Snip off the ribbon. No tails on this, like I said. Place it inside. Take that wire. Bring it to the middle. And look at how much wire we still have left, you guys. I'm just going to pull this tight. This is after making, gosh, probably
tons.
70,
Yeah.
80 bows. With me being a little wasteful each time. So a little goes a long way, and 1 roll goes a long way.
Bowdabra's never-ending wire.
Yes. Take that wire, bring it to the back, and tie from behind. So the wire comes in silver or gold. Doesn't really make a huge difference. You know, even though I love silver, we're using the gold. We do have silver as well. Fluff this bow out. Pull those loops from side to side. Hey, Vicky, nice to see you. Trying to watch you and my hummingbirds. We need to get a hummingbird feeder, Dad. We used to have 1 hummingbird that would just go crazy over one of our cat mints outside. And we used to see him for, you know, years. He's been gone. I don't know what happened to him this year, but we need to get some more. They're so pretty outside.
I missed the winner, Nick. Do you see the winner?
Winner
Cindy,
is Cindy Boney Radcliffe. So congratulations, Cindy. Let's all congratulate her on winning tonight's free roll of scrunchy ribbon.
Yay.
So be sure to send Bowdabra a Facebook message, and they will, you know, send your color of choice.
Congratulations, Sydney.
Congrats, Cindy. So that's that bow. Now we're going to use the mini Bowdabra. And this thing is as cute as a button, and I love this little thingy. So we're going to cut another length of wire. We don't need a long wire for this bow. Fold it in half. Tuck it underneath. And we'll use red for summer. This, you know, red I love at Christmas time, but it's also a perfect summer ribbon too. It reminds me of picnics. So for this bow, let's do something different. We're going to just cut off that excess ribbon, cut off a tail, like so. And this is going to be a bow tie. So this is perfect for wine bottles, you know, like little wreath enhancements, you name it, it'll look great. We're going to take our ribbon, flip it upside down, create 1 loop, create a second loop. Let's do 4, so 2 on either side. And you can really pack in a lot of ribbon in this mini Bowdabra, believe it or not. So obviously you're not going to want to use this as your main Bowdabra for super big bows, but you could do standard bows quite easily. So that's 2 loops, Now we're going to come back in with 2 more. These ones are going to be smaller, about 2.5 inches, one on either side. And then to finish it off, our button. So our button loop's only about 1 inch or so. Just something to cover up that wire. That way you don't see it. Place it inside. You can use your mini Bowdabra wand if you wanted to get it really tight. Take that wire, pull it out, and tie. It's as easy as that. Right? How simple. Tie it from behind. And there you go. Now we can just fluff this bow. Pull those loops apart. I'm going to keep the smaller 2-inch loop right in the middle between the larger loops. So again, 3 loops on either side. 2 are about 3 inches. One's about 2 inches on either side. And then we have our little button that's dead smack in the middle. So once you fluff that out, you'll get something like this.
How cute that is.
Tell me that wouldn't be perfect on a wine bottle.
It would
right?
be, yeah.
So to finish this off, you can do a couple different things. Let's just show you. You can take your tails and cut them at an angle. Opposite directions, I think, looks better like that. You can also take your tails and dovetail. I like dovetails for my bow ties. I think those look really cute. And now you have a perfect bow using the mini Bowdabra, right? Isn't that cute?
That's awesome, yeah.
So thank you all so much for joining us on Bowdabra. As always, we are live each and every Monday at 7 Eastern. And Bowdabra does give away a free roll of ribbon every Monday that we're live. So stick around, because at the end of each video, we do announce one lucky winner that receives a roll. I want to thank Sandy for having us as a guest today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We made quite a lot. So my favorite is probably going to be that wreath. And you'll see all of the pictures posted on the on Bowdabra's site. I will send them pictures, and they will post them for you all once we fluff them out and place them against my wall. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in. I love you guys, and we will see you next Monday. Bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, Sandy.